Good afternoon and welcome to Channel 44. I am Mercy Gashego Sembatia to bring you this afternoon's news in brief. Thank you for staying tuned. We'll start with what's happening in Uganda here. The Select Parliamentary Committee that investigated the management of the National Social Security Fund have recommended that the Minister for Gender, Labour and Social Development, Betty Among, resigns with immediate effect over abuse of office. The committee, chaired by Mbarara City South Member of Parliament, Mwine Mpaka, in a report to Parliament, also recommended that NSSF managers that participated in the initiation of 1.8 billion shillings budget for donations under the guise of corporate social responsibility resign with immediate effect. This will pave a way for the investigations by the Inspectorate of Government over offence of abuse of office, corruption, and conspiracy to commit a felony. Well, in news outside Uganda, in Nigeria, the President-elect Bola Tinubu has visited the outgoing President Muhammadu Buhari on last evening in his first engagement since winning the presidency in the elections. Mr. Tinubu personally thanked the president for his efforts and commitment to ensure a free, fair and credible election according to a presidential aide. The president-elect was accompanied by Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima during the visit. In a tweet, President Buhari described the pair as two men who are true believers in Nigeria and genuinely committed to progress and development. Still about Nigeria, the U.S. has congratulated Nigerian President-elect Bola Tinubu and citizens following the just concluded general elections. He said the U.S. State Department spokesman Ned Price said this competitive election represents a new period for Nigerian politics and democracy. The State Department, however, acknowledged the frustration among some Nigerians and parties regarding the way the elections were conducted amid technical problems that have fueled accusations of fraud. It called on the electoral body to improve on the highlighted issues before March 11th gubernatorial elections, noting that Nigerians were right to expect them to do better. The U.S. also urged all parties to avoid violence or inflammatory rhetoric at this critical time and seek to resolve any disputes through legal channels. Mr. Tinubu, who is 70 years old, was declared the winner of the 25th February election with 37% of the votes yesterday, but opposition parties have disputed the results. The Labour Party, which presidential candidate Peter Obi, who finished third in the election, has promised to challenge the results in court. In Delhi, India, the Prime Minister Narendra Modi has urged G20 foreign ministers to overcome their divisions and focus on the needs of the developing world. India wants to use its G20 presidency to raise issues of developing countries known as the Global South. Divisions within the group over Ukraine war will test Indian diplomacy. Last week, G20 finance ministers failed to reach a consensus on closing statement at their meeting in Bengaluru city in the first ministerial meeting in the run-up to the summit later this year. And in the Middle East, dozens of girls from 26 schools in Iran are reportedly being treated for poisoning at hospitals after another wave of apparent toxic gas attacks. More than 1,000 students have been affected since November. They have suffered respiratory problems and nausea, dizziness and fatigue. Many Iranians suspect the poisonings are a deliberate attempt to force girls' schools to close. The government has not said whether it believes they are premeditated. Interior Minister Ahmad Vahidi, who has been tasked by the president with finding the root cause of the poisonings, yesterday dismissed as false a report by Fars News Agency that 3 people had been arrested. He also accused foreign-based media and mercenary groups of taking advantage of the situation to wage psychological war and worry people. Protests have erupted in Greece over the rail crash which killed 43 people, with many seeing it as an accident that had been waiting to happen. Rioters clashed with police outside the headquarters of Hellenic Train in Athens, according to the company responsible for maintaining Greece's railways. Protests were also held in Thessaloniki and the city of Larissa, near where the disaster happened on Tuesday night. The government has said an independent investigation will deliver justice. 3 days of national mourning have been declared across the country following the incident in which a passenger service crashed head-on into a freight train, causing the front carriages to burst into flames. And FBI agents have arrested a man who allegedly brought an explosive device to a Pennsylvania airport on Monday. Mark Muffley, who is aged 40, is accused of putting the device in his checked bag for a flight to Orlando, Florida. He fled the airport after his name was called over the loudspeaker, according to agents, and was arrested at home later that evening. Transportation Security Administration (TSA) officials say they spotted the device during a routine screening. Officials say Mr. Muffley checked in for Allegiant Air Flight 201 at Lehigh Valley International Airport, 65 miles north of Philadelphia, on Monday morning. About an hour later, TSA screeners discovered the suspicious item and called FBI specialists, including a bomb technician, to examine the device. And still in the United States, U.S. authorities believe it's very unlikely that a mysterious illness dubbed Havana syndrome is caused by a hostile foreign power. Since 2016, U.S. diplomats around the globe have reported feeling symptoms, fueling suggestions that Russia, China, or other countries could be behind it. While the United States now discounts that theory, no other explanation has been given. The phenomenon gets its name from Cuba's capital, where the first case was detected. Yesterday, the Office of the Director of National Intelligence, or DNI, released an unclassified assessment reflecting the view of 7 government agencies, which reviewed more than 1,500 anomalous health incidents across over 90 countries. Well, that brings us to the end of this afternoon's News in Brief. Thank you for watching Channel 44. I remind you that we are on different platforms where you can find us. We are on DSTV Channel 297, GoTV Channel 812, Star Times Channel 290, Zuku TV 056, Azam TV 152, free to air number 12, and on different mobile apps, which include Your TV, Afro Mobile, and Airtel TV, as Channel 44 or Miracle Television, the best name in television. And then also on StarTimes Satellite, we are on 468. Go pass by and be blessed as you watch the different services happening and the different programs that are aired here on Channel 44. Otherwise, I'll leave you to Pastor Jessica Kayanja, who is coming up next with the Lunch Hour program. Recently, she has been ministering to our spirits on which body parts are spiritual yet physical. Stay tuned to Channel 44. You will stay blessed, and I guarantee that your life will not remain the same again. We'll meet again at 4 p.m. with the business news, both local and international, and I will be joined by Bill Clinton Wahereza at that time, bringing you the latest in business. Stay tuned, and God bless you.